One of the best three-point shooting teams in the NBA this year. Something that you guys struggle with defensively. Just what's the mindset heading into this one, especially guarding the three-pointer?
We got to communicate, and we got to give multiple efforts. Because if you don't give multiple efforts and get to their bodies, they're going to knock shots down. There's a big difference when they catch and shoot threes to where they shoot threes off the dribble. And it's easy to sit here and say, hey, they'll shoot off the dribble, but they're well coached. And obviously they're an extremely talented team. Everybody on their team, we have hot shooters and normal shooters, and like the list of hot is like hot. And normally you have 3 or 4, sometimes 2 hot shooters that you may list, but it's basically their whole team.
Mike, when you look at this team, they've been through sort of the rigors of the playoffs, 5 or 6 times together. How far ahead are they, do you think, of your group, and how do you get to that point? Just by, I guess, experience?
Yeah, no, it's by experience. There's nothing that replaces multiple deep playoff runs, being together, having your core together for consecutive years. That speaks volumes in itself, and we need to get to the point where we're experiencing it, not just winning, but even facing some adversity in the playoffs and getting a taste of what it's like to go and be so close like they were, a couple of years ago against Golden State. And that just adds fuel to the fire, gives you experience, and also in the same breath gives you confidence too. And all those things are hard to generate unless you've really been there.
Mike, how Jayson Tatum's out tonight, Horford's out as well. Any thoughts on just how different they might be or might not be with those guys not on the floor?
Yeah, they're still a dangerous team, and that's what makes this league so great. Anybody can win on any given night. Should we be OKC without Fox? And I'm sure everybody's like, oh, Fox isn't playing, they should get the win, And they're the second place or third place team in the West, and so it doesn't matter. You got to come to play first of all, because no matter who's in front of you, on any given night, they have a chance to win. Obviously, when you're missing a guy like Horford with his experience, his demeanor, the way he communicates on both ends of the floor, the way he shoots it, the way he spreads it for a big, gives you a different look. And then you're missing, a multi-time All-Star and Jayson Tatum, and a guy that's considered for the league MVP. It's a tough blow to you, But I'm sure that they have the same mindset as most, great teams. That hey, we have a team for a reason. It has to be the next man up, and we got to go find a way to get it done. I still think they have the ability to shoot the three. They still have the ability to create because they have multiple guys that can do it off the dribble. They're just missing one of the many pieces that they have.
Mike, you mentioned the birthday boy in DeAaron Fox. For those of us who aren't here every day, what's different about him? Career scoring year and just the impact that he has on this team.
The biggest thing is obviously he's shining with us winning a little bit, and when you can shine and your team wins and you have a lot behind it, then you start to get the recognition. And we won a lot of close games last year, and he was the leading scorer or top 3. I don't even know where he finished, but I know he was up there in terms of fourth quarter points, and that's impactful, especially when you're leading the teams to playoffs. When you have a losing record, everybody knows that somebody's got to score. Somebody's got to score 27 points. Somebody's going to get 6, 7, 8 assists, and so to be able to consistently show that you can do that while leading your team to victories will give you a lot of recognition. And he's worked extremely hard before the season in making sure that he's continuing to take the steps the right direction, and he's locked in and focused during the season to continue that climb upwards. And I think just the maturity level and the experience level, and And, he and Luke have a great relationship, working relationship, and, his wife is tremendous. I mean, she pushes, she was a McDonald's All-American herself, so she pushes him probably harder than we do. But all that stuff has, helped him become the player that he is now, but he definitely has the mindset for it, he definitely has the talent for it, and all the physical attributes that's needed.
Mike, you talked about defending home floor after Monday night's game. With these 3 games to wrap up this homestand, do they carry any extra weight with being on the home floor, the quality of opponent, maybe like a measuring stick of where this team is at in terms of playing at home?
You always want to try to win at home, like I said, because, you're getting that extra boost from your crowd. And, I think our crowd's best in the league. And so for us to take advantage of it is a must. Now, I don't know how many more home games we have. We for sure aren't going to go 30-0. We're going to lose some games. We're going to lose some games to some good teams. We're going to lose some games to some teams that everybody thinks we should have beat, But, anytime you can play against teams that are at the top of the conference, you enjoy playing games, but you really enjoy that if you're a competitor. And we're looking forward to the night just as they probably are too. But if we can get it, we want to get it, and it does have more importance than getting ones on the road because of the reasons that I mentioned. But it's not the end of the world if it doesn't. If we don't go 3-0 these next 3 games.
How have you graded out Keegan defensively? Through whatever 25 games in the second season.
Well, what you just said at the end is huge. This is his second season, and if you think about it, 90% of the time he's taking the toughest perimeter matchup for us, and then we're asking him to knock down shots at a 40% clip and score for us and do some other things. And so for a guy in his second year to have that type of responsibility, and to do what he's doing with it right now, I give him a high grade, not an A+, but I give him A-, because he's going to get better. But he's been very, very good for us because he's still learning the league. He's still learning these players, and he's still trying to learn himself too. And so all that is just a tough adjustment to try to go through when we expect to win games at a high level.
Boston doesn't have very many obvious mismatches for you guys to target, but throughout the course of this year, how do you feel like you guys have done it attacking mismatches while still maintaining your offensive flow?
We've done a pretty good job, We have what we call our flow offense, and there's two different looks that we can come up the floor and to get in our flow without a call, and then we have a lot of different options within that. And we still have to do a better job of kind of recognizing sometimes the mismatch within the flow of what we're trying to do, and not always as much as when I call it or somebody else calls it. I don't know if that makes sense. It can happen. It can happen at any time. And if the mismatch on the weak side, well, we have stuff to generate offense to get the ball to the weak side of the floor. So let's just boom, 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 quickly feel it, recognize it, and go over that way to run our offense or initiate our offense. And we're going to continue to push our guys to feel that, understand it, how you want to call it, and I think they'll get better as time goes on. But it's definitely a work in progress.
Coach, just real quick, what's your thoughts about Jrue Holiday, who has been in the league, definitely sustained longevity, been on the championship team. What's your thoughts about it?
Man, I don't know him really well, but I know him a little bit because when I coached the Nigerian national team, you can have one exemption, and I was trying to get him to be the exemption. It didn't obviously work out, but you talk about a quality human being, great family man, great person. What an example of the NBA. On the floor, off the floor, you name it. He's just a Class A person. And then on top of that, how do you want it offensively? He can score at all 3 levels. He can play the 1, he can play the 2, he can play pick and roll, he can come off pin downs, he can play DHO game. He can post up defensively. he's one of the best on-ball defenders that I've seen, in the mold of a Joe Dumars type defender from back in the day, and he's just a remarkable talent to pick up for those guys. And you're right, it seems like he's been around forever, and it doesn't seem like he's going away anytime soon.
Mike, Boston's on the second night of a back-to-back, and I believe third game in 4 nights. You like to play fast anyway. Is it even more important to push the pace and really go tonight against these guys?
For sure, we like you said, that's who we want to be as part of our identity, and regardless if they're coming off a back-to-back, we want to play fast, but we definitely want to do it with them coming off a back-to-back and overtime game. Thank y'all.